Hello students, I am Sanjana Kavadi, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, AITM, Belgavi. Let us continue with the video lectures on computer organization. In this video, we shall see the performance of a computer. So the most important measure of the performance of a computer is how quickly it can execute the programs. Okay, how quickly it can execute the programs. So the speed with which a computer executes program is affected by the design of its hardware and its machine language instructions. Because the programs are usually written in a high level language, performance is also affected by the compiler that translates programs into machine language. Okay, so for best performance, it is necessary to design the compiler and the machine instruction set as well as the hardware in a coordinated way. So the three factors that affect performance are hardware design, instruction set, and compiler. So all these three have to be designed in a coordinated way for the better performance. So the figure shows the cache memory as a part of the processor unit. So let us examine the flow of the program instructions and data between the memory and the processor. At the start of the execution, all program instructions and the required data are stored in the main memory. Okay, so as execution proceeds, instructions are fetched one by one over the bus into the processor and a copy is placed into the cache. Okay, so when the execution of an instruction calls for data located in the main memory, the data are fetched and a copy is placed in the cache. Later, if the same instruction or data item is needed second time, it is read directly from the cache instead of going to the memory. The processor and relatively small cache memory can be fabricated onto a single integrated chip, that is IC chip. Okay, that is integrated circuit chip. So the internal speed of performing the basic steps of instruction processing on such chips is very high and is considerably faster than the speed at which instructions and data can be fetched from the main memory. Okay, so a program will be executed faster if the movement of instructions and data between the main memory and the processor is minimized, which is achieved by using the cache memory. So the performance is going to be measured by the speed of the computer and the cost of the memory as well as how the memory management is being done. Let us understand the processor clock. So the processor circuits are controlled by a timing signal called a clock. So the clock defines regular time intervals called clock cycles. To execute a machine instruction, the processor divides the actions to be performed into a sequence of basic steps such that each step can be completed in one clock cycle. Okay, so the length P of one clock cycle is an important parameter that affects the processor performance. Okay, so the inverse of the clock rate, that is R is equal to 1 by P, which is measured in cycles per second. Okay, so the inverse of clock rate R is going to be calculated by 1 by P, which is going to be measured in clocks per measured in clock cycles per second. So the processors used in today's personal computers and workstations have clock rates that range from few hundred million to over a billion clock cycles per second. Okay, so in standard electrical engineering terminology, the term cycles per second is called hertz. Okay. Now let us understand the basic performance equation. Let capital T be the processor time required to execute a program that has been written in some high level language like C, C++, Java, etc. Okay. So once I want to execute this program, what the compiler will do? The compiler will generate a machine language object program that is corresponding to the source program. Okay. Also assume that the complete execution of the program requires the execution of capital N machine language instructions. Okay, so capital N is the number of executions of machine language instruction. So the number capital N, it is the actual number of instructions executions, and it is not the number of instructions in the object program. It is not necessarily equal to the number of instructions in the program, but it is the number of executions of the program. Some instructions will be executed, some instructions may be executed more than once, like in case of loop instructions. Just you can take example of for loop. For loop is just one instruction, but how many times it will be executed, that depends on the condition and what input data we are giving. Okay, so it is not just the number of instructions in the program, it is the number of times the instructions are being executed. Okay, so some instructions may be executed repeatedly and some instructions may not be executed at all. Okay, so that is why capital N is the number of instruction executions. Okay, suppose that the average number of basic steps needed to execute one machine instruction is S. Okay, capital S. Average number of basic steps needed to execute one machine instruction is S, where each basic step is completed in one clock cycle. Understand this? Average number of basic steps needed to execute one machine instruction is S, and each basic step is completed in one clock cycle. Okay, so if the clock rate capital R cycles per second, then the program execution time will be given by capital T is equal to capital N into capital S divided by capital R. Okay, this equation is called as basic performance equation. Okay, so just see this, the performance parameter T for any application program will be more important to the user than the individual values of the parameters S, N or R. Okay, so it is not that we are going to concentrate on each value of N, S, R, but we need, for better performance, we need the value of capital T. Okay, so to achieve high performance, what has to be done? The computer designer must find ways to reduce the value of T. Okay, which means reducing N and S. Okay, the total time required to execute the instruction has to be execution of the program has to be reduced. Okay, the lesser time execution time, the better the performance. Okay, just understand this. Okay, if I want to reduce the value of T, what I have to do? I have to reduce the N as well as S. Okay, so what is N, what is S, you already know. Okay, and then increase the value of R. Okay, reduce N and S and increase R. Okay, the value of N is reduced if the source program is compiled in fewer machine instructions. Okay, how you can reduce N? Okay, it can be reduced if the source program will be compiled into fewer machine instructions, and then the value of S is reduced if the instructions have a smaller number of basic steps to perform, or if the execution of the instruction will be overlapped. In these two cases, the value of S can be reduced. Okay, if we are using a high frequency clock, increases the value of R, which means that the time required to complete basic execution step will be reduced. Okay, you have to reduce the N and S and increase R. Okay, so we must emphasize that N, S and R are not independent parameters. So changing, they are not completely independent parameters. So changing one of these three will affect another. Okay, so introducing a new feature in the design of processor will lead to the improved performance only if the overall result is to be reduce the value of T. Okay, any new feature you are going to add into the designing of the processor, it will give the improved performance only if the overall result is to reduce the value of capital T. Now let us understand clock rate R. Okay, there are two possibilities for increasing the clock rate capital R. Okay, first one is improving the IC technology, that is integrated circuit technology, which makes the logic circuits work faster, which reduces the time needed to complete a basic step. Okay, this is going to allow the clock period P to be reduced and the clock rate R to be increased. Okay, second one is reducing the amount of processing done in one basic step, also makes it possible to reduce the clock period P. Okay, there are two things. One is either you increase the IC technology to work the circuits faster, or else reduce the amount of processing done in one basic step. Okay, both are going to allow the clock period P to be reduced and clock rate R to be increased. Okay, however, if the actions that have to be performed by an instructions is going to remain same, the number of basic steps needed may be increased in case if we are trying to reduce the amount of processing done in one basic step. Okay, so increases in the value of R that are entirely caused by improvements in IC technology. If we are using the first technique, that is improving the IC technology, then the increase in the value of R is going to affect all the aspects of the processor's operation equally, but with the exception that the time it takes to access the main memory, the time it is taking to access the main memory will not be affected by this. Okay, so in presence of a cache, the percentage of the accesses to the main memory is small. Suppose if we have cache memory in our system, then the chances of accessing to the main memory will be reduced because the first access will be always to the cache. Okay, so much of the performance gained expected from the user of faster technology can be realized here. Okay, so the value of capital T will be reduced by the same factor as capital R is increased because N and S are not affected. Okay, so the impact on the performance of changing the way in which instructions are divided into basic steps is more difficult to assess. Okay,
Now let us understand performance measurement.
so it is important to be able to assess the performance of a computer. Okay, so computer designers use the performance estimates to evaluate the effectiveness of new features. Okay, so for manufacturers, how it is useful is manufacturers use the performance for their marketing process or marketing purposes to sell their design computers and all. Okay, in case of buyers will use such data to choose among the available computer models. Okay, so the previous discussion suggests that only parameter that properly describes the performance of a computer is the execution time, capital T. Okay, so for the programmers of interest it is useful. Okay, so despite the conceptual simplicity of that equation what we have seen in the last slide, computing the value of T is not simple. Okay, why? Because we will see moreover, the parameters such as the clock speed and various architectural features are not reliable indicators of the expected performance. So this is the reason that it is not so easy to calculate the value of T. So for these reasons, the computer community adopted the idea of measuring performance using the benchmark programs. Okay, so in order to overcome this problem, what is done is the computer community adopted a idea that measuring the computer performance using some benchmark programs. Okay, so to make comparison possible, standardized programs must be used. So what are these benchmark programs? There are some programs that is been written. Okay, so any normal user program will be compared with the execution of that benchmark program, and then the performance of that particular program will be measured. Okay, so to make the comparisons possible, standardized programs must be used. So the performance measure is the time it takes a computer to execute the given benchmark. So that is nothing but the performance. Okay, so performance measure is the time it takes a computer to execute a given benchmark. So initially some attempts were made to create some artificial programs that could be used as standard benchmarks, but the synthetic programs do not properly predict the performance obtained when any real applications are used to run. Okay, so for that reason the accepted practice today is to an agreed upon selection of real application programs to evaluate the performance. Okay, so a non-profit organization called System Performance Evaluation Corporation, that is SPEC. Okay, SPEC, it is abbreviated as SPEC, SPEC. So this one will select and publishes representative application programs for different application domains together with the test results for many commercially available computers. Okay, so for general purpose computers, a suite benchmark programs will be selected in 1989. It was modified somewhat and published in 1995 and again in the 2000. So for personal computers, there was a benchmark program that was selected in 1989. It was somewhat modified and again reused, republished in 1995, and again they have modified it, and again it was recently published was in the year 2000. Okay, so the program selected will range from game playing, compiler and database applications to numerically intensive programs in astrophysics and quantum chemistry. So what type of benchmark programs will be selected is they will range from any game playing, compilers or any database applications to numerically intensive programs like astrophysics and quantum chemistry. So in a real computer, this will be measured. Okay, so the same program is also compiled and run on the computer selected for a reference. Okay, so this program, how do you measure the performance of a computer is, so this program will be some specific system will be identified, and these types of programs will be run on that computer, and then we will choose a computer, and the same we will calculate the amount of time taken for execution in this reference computer, and then the same program will be run on the computer that is selected for evaluating the performance measurement. So in that again the same program will be run, and then we are going to calculate the time taken for that. Okay, so spec rating can be calculated as running time on the reference computer divided by the running time on the computer under test. Okay, so spec rating can be calculated as running time on the reference computer, that is the computer in which benchmark program is set. Okay, so divided by the running time on the computer under test. Okay, that is the computer we have chosen to test. So thus a spec rating of 50 means that the computer under test is 50 times as fast as the ultraspark time. That is the example of a computer reference computer, you can say, for this particular benchmark. Okay, this test is repeated for all the programs in the spec suite, that is in the reference computer. What all programs we have built, for all the programs this will be calculated, and the geometric mean of the results will be computed. Okay, so let spec I be the rating for the program I in the suite. So the overall spec rating for the computer will be given by spec rating is equal to pi of I equal to 1 raised to n spec I whole raised to 1 by n, where small n is the number of programs in the suite. Okay, the number of programs that are kept in the reference computer. Okay, so because the actual execution of the time is measured, the spec rating is a measure of the combined effect of all the factors affecting the performance, including the compiler, the operating system and the processor, also the memory of the computer being tested. So details of the spec benchmark programs and results of the test conducted can be found on the spec web page. So the module will be continued in the upcoming videos. Keep watching. Thank you.